Good morning, everybody. A beautiful June morning, actually. Not too hot, but nice clear skies, sun's out, and we are over at Drymere 105 today. We kind of come over for a walk with the Swaffham mob. So we've brought everyone all on one walk today. It does mean that the kind of drive to pick everybody up and drop everybody off is a bit longer, but it also means, number one, the group's a little bit bigger, so that's quite nice for the dogs. And also it means I only have to walk once, so I burn a bit less fuel. So yeah, that's always a winner. So yes, to anybody who is watching this who happens to be a West Ham fan, congratulations. Your first European trophy since 1965, which would be 58 years, I believe. I was really, really pleased to see you win it. I was really chuffed to see you win it. Most of the time, if I see another English club in Europe, I want them to get stuffed. I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, I always support the English club. I think not. However, last night I did actually want you to win. I genuinely wanted you to win. So it was amazing that you did. It was really, really good that you did. So you got Europa League next year. After a difficult season in the league, so you're going to have Europe, 3 years on the bounce? Which is, that's where a club of your size belongs. So that's fantastic news. That's really, really good news. Congratulations, I'm pleased for you. So anyway, back to our canine companions here. With us today, we have 9 of the buggers. We have the dipshit twins on the lead. Jarv on the left, Bob on the right. We have Pip the Lip. We have Mibble. We have Willow. We have Ariel. We have Little Miss Millie. We also have behind me Chubby Charlie and the Tedster. But it's quite difficult to turn around and film them when you're being dragged along by the world's weirdest looking huskies. So yeah, good sized walk today, which is nice. I've got to be honest, generally speaking, about 9 is a nice size for a dog walk. Some people think it's too many. I don't. I've never had any significant problems with it. I've had a couple of frustrating days with it, but never any significant ones. And when the dogs are generally as well behaved and gentle as this particular mob are, it's generally speaking quite a nice experience. As you can see, it's all getting quite overgrown in the woods now. The path is still visible just about, but give it another couple of weeks and it'll be way up. So yeah, it's certainly growing season. Now we've done some doggy intros and we've not done others. So I think today we are going to do Chubby Charlie. I've been walking Charlie since he was a pup, which, if I'm right, has got to be coming up on 4 years now, which is nuts. Can't believe I've been walking him that long. But yes, Charlie was, when Mandy and John, his owners, bought him, they were told he was a cockapoo. However, we've since come to the conclusion that he is in actual fact a Sproodle, which is a Springer, like Willow and Ariel, crossed with a poodle. And obviously the nickname Chubbs, because he is quite round in the middle, is Charlie. And he is most definitely not an energetic dog. He'll have a little bit of a trot at first, a little bit of a run up and down, but certainly nothing too strenuous. And then he will take up his residual space at the back of the walk, which is why he has the other nickname of Tail End. Because obviously Tail End Charlie. And Charlie is great. Charlie is great. He's very, very funny, very, very laid back. Doesn't really... He doesn't really get too involved with the other dogs, but that being said, he's quite happy around them. He's like your slightly overweight drinking buddy who, you know, you're not quite sure what he does until he's not there, and then it becomes apparent. And he's just a character. He's just a character. He's very, very, as I said, he's very, very laid back. He's very, very funny. It's like he knows himself very, very well indeed. It's like, you know, I mean, never tries to go beyond his limits, never pushes himself too far. You know, so he has some really, really funny traits and characteristics that they make me giggle all the time. He does, however, have an incredibly stubborn side at times. If Charlie don't want to do something, by God, he doesn't, you know, obviously he's called Chubs because he is chubby, but he can make himself feel like he weighs 3 times what he actually weighs when you're trying to get him to do something that he doesn't really want to do. I mean, as you can see, this is that's quite pacey for Charlie. Chubs, isn't it? That's quite quick for you, isn't it, mate? But yeah, you ain't getting Charlie sprinting anywhere. Unfortunately, poor old Chubs has some issues with his feet and with his ears. He gets yeast infections in between his toes and in his ears, which is horrible for him. It really, really is. At one point, I had to stop walking him for a bit. I couldn't work out why it was that he kept stopping on the walks. And he'd walk 100 yards, he'd stop. He'd walk 100 yards, he'd stop. And finally, in the end, I was like, what is going on with him? So I took him back to the car, and we all came home, obviously, because, you know, we don't continue. If one of the dogs is injured or clearly in pain, we don't carry on. You know what I mean? We turn around, we get back to the car as quick as possible. Anyway, when I got him back home and I explained to Mandy and John what had gone on, and they got him down to the vet, and it turned out he had this yeast infection in between his toes, and the poor dog was in agony. So yeah, he does unfortunately suffer with that. Although now he's been given a treatment for that, and that seems to have cleared up. It's not raised its head in a little while. But yeah, that was one of the nastier ones. That it wasn't nice. He really was. You could see how much he was struggling, and he wanted to, you know, he wanted to keep up with the group. He wanted to but he just couldn't. His feet were just too sore. So yeah, that one was quite unpleasant to watch, actually. As someone who loves dogs, it wasn't nice to see. I have to be honest, I wasn't wildly enthused at carrying him back to the car, but it had to be done. But yeah, he's a good boy, is Charlie. He's a real good lad, is Charlie. He's just, you know, he's just a solid little character. He's not a nutter. He's not a loon. He's just himself. And I know that sounds quite strange to say about a dog, but you've got to kind of respect that about anything. You know, whether it's a person or a dog or a chimpanzee or whatever it is. Don't try and be anything other than they are. Just him. Boom. There you go. Take it or leave it. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that trait in people. And I appreciate that in dogs. So yeah, that was Charlie. And this has been the Thursday walk. As you can see, very lush and green, very nice indeed out here. We'll be back tomorrow. We have another walk tomorrow, just the one walk. I've got to try and get that rocked out by about 12:30, so it will be reasonably early pickups and drop-offs. Yeah, we will be back then. And in the meantime, enjoy your Thursday. I hope it is as pleasant near you as it is near us. And we'll catch up with you very soon. And from me and the dogs, do remember to mooch on. Take care. Bye-bye.